Or if I should just break up with him and move on. You're leaving that in? Oh my god.
Hi you guys, welcome back. Today we have Zachary, which is probably 1 in a million. Zachary doesn't like to be on camera, but I've been wanting to film this video forever. So we're gonna do a Q&A, but a lot of the questions that we got were like almost like newly dating questions, and I realized that we don't really talk about our relationship online, so that's probably why we got those like basic intro questions. So we're gonna just start and get those out of the way, and then we'll go to like some other questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. Okay.
All right, yeah, first question. Yay. 18.
We're 24. Zachary just turned. And how long have we been together?
7 years and a month.
Yep.
About.
It's been 7 years. We've lived together for, it'll be
3.5?
No.
4.5?
Yes, it'll be 5 years in August that we've lived together.
Jeez.
We had an apartment and then another apartment, and then we bought a house. So this is our house. How did we meet? And I'm gonna put that hand in hand with our first date because they were like basically back to back. So how did we meet?
Twitter.
Yeah, well, I feel like
not a sexy answer.
I feel like our stories are like different, but we met on Twitter.
Yeah. We
had a mutual friend. I think you were kind of closer to her because you guys like talked and stuff. I just saw her at school. You had told her that you thought I was cute.
Yeah,
and
this is really in depth.
She told me.
Yeah.
And then I DM'd you on Twitter.
Yeah.
And we talked for like a week.
No, 2 weeks.
Really? Mm-hmm. But we talked for like a day or two on Twitter until I asked for your number, and then
not
we were
even,
texting.
not even. Not
like we DM'd on
yeah,
Twitter.
no, like that night you messaged me, and I think that I already went to bed, and then the next morning
I asked for your number the next morning because I remember I was sitting in my car outside of school. And then our first date was like 2 weeks later.
We would talk on the phone and FaceTime like all day.
Why do I forget that we used to talk on the phone beforehand? We FaceTimed? I don't think so.
Yeah, a couple times I think.
Really?
Yeah, and that before like we like actually met like in person. Yeah.
Huh. But our first date, I picked you up because we were both still in school, and you didn't.
A little embarrassing.
You had your license, but you couldn't drive people yet.
Yeah, that's right.
So I drove all the way from LVA to his house and picked him up, and then we went to Cane's. Yep. That was our first date, and then we went to PetSmart, and then went back to your dad's house for a little bit and hung out, and then I went home. And the rest is history because you asked me to be your
And you let me drive.
Yeah, I let him drive my car, which like it was the first time I ever met him.
First time we ever met. You had known me for like in person like
2 hours.
2 hours. You're like driving my car.
And you asked me to be your girlfriend in the car.
I did.
It was all very fast, but
yeah.
It's gotten us here. This one's also kind of an beginning question, is what were our first impressions?
From in person or before? Like beforehand I didn't really know a lot about you. Like I just saw pictures of you on Twitter and I thought you were cute. Like that was it.
Didn't you say you thought I was like a crazy girl? When we
met, on the first date. I don't know if you want to tell that.
No.
I'll just say you did something where I was like, this might not go well, but it wasn't really that big a deal, and it was kind of savage. I guess that could have been a bad, like red flag, like I should have paid attention to that.
No.
But no, you weren't crazy at all.
I don't know that I really had a first impression of you, because my first impression was our friends sending me a screenshot of your text.
Like you didn't know who I was, but I knew who you were before that message. Yeah.
What's our favorite thing to do together? I think we probably have different answers.
I think my answer's gonna surprise you.
Well, I think you're gonna say hanging at the house, doing like watching a movie together.
That's not my answer. Okay. I knew you would think that, but that's not my answer.
Okay. Well, my answer is
games and music.
No.
No? What?
Well, I like when we are like driving around, like listening to music and like feeling the vibes, and like we're in like Friday vibes, but it's usually like on the weekend with like music. That's my favorite thing to do with you. What's your favorite?
Traveling. That's my favorite when I don't have any worries, whether it's just you and I or families with us. Like I like that relaxation of kind of doing whatever, just us, and not really worrying about like your responsibilities and stuff, and being able to enjoy those with you.
We have a question. What was our favorite trip together?
I don't know. We've done a lot, I feel like, for as young as we are.
I have one in mind, but I don't know that it's gonna be yours.
Well, you and I have different, like, we want to do different things when we do travel.
So normally we go on trips with our families, and that's easier to plan because they're planning it and we're just going along and we do whatever they do.
And we push them to like do other things and add things to it because they don't look at it the same way we do. Like they go for one specific reason.
They schedule a trip to like see family, and like that's all they think about is see family. And then we're like, oh well, there's the
like
cool
let's all go to
coffee
dinner
shop.
one place. Yeah, go to like breakfast or go sightseeing.
But anyways,
like
we're
things.
way off track. My point was we struggle to plan a trip, just the two of us, because we have very different interests. Because
so many
Zachary
options,
wants to see like a lot of touristy things and try a bunch of food places, which is hard for me with my dietary restrictions. And I would rather do things like be in like the deep areas where it's like all locals and like do what the locals do, which you want to do too.
I do too, but it's hard to find.
It is harder to find, but also you still want to do the touristy things, and I'm like, take it or leave it. Like I'm cool with
some things. There's a lot of tourist things I don't want to touch. Like I just they're lame or boring. And
I think my favorite trip we've taken, I just feel like I have the best memories from this trip, is our first trip to Vermont for Sierra's wedding.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
And wasn't that one of our first trips? I mean, our first trip ever together
That's
was
surprising.
Catalina Island, which was fun, but also wasn't the most fun because
you got
I
burnt
was
immediately.
burnt.
You got burnt, literally got burnt on the
way
ferry to the island. Like
yeah.
That's interesting that you said that, because like that's when you have more anxiety. You could cut this if you want, but like you have more anxiety. So you had moments while we're on that trip where that played a factor and it like really upset you and really bothered you. So when you say that's your favorite trip of us together, like I get it, but at the same time like there was moments where not because of me, but just like the travel part.
But you know what's interesting about that is when I look back at that trip, I forget I was ever anxious.
And that's what I'm saying, is that's why I think that's interesting that that's your favorite, but that's probably the trip you've had the worst anxiety on, yet that's your favorite.
One
and you've forgotten about those parts, which is great. I mean, that speaks to how much you enjoyed the rest of the trip.
It was a direct flight, which I love.
Yeah.
Your whole family was there.
That's the first time you met Sierra.
Yeah, it was the first time I met, and there was a wedding.
Yeah.
We slept in the car overnight, which was miserable, but
it's a fun travel. Yeah.
And then
looking back,
we went to 2 coffee shops that morning because the first one sucked. There was just a lot of like little things that were memorable, and like going to Tanner's grandpa's house and having like sourdough pancakes.
Yeah,
looking
that's
into
a good
the
trip.
woods from his house. To me, that was like the first trip I'd been on that was unlike any other trip I had gone on.
Well, my first thought was Phoenix, just because that's the more recent. I love Phoenix. That was so much fun just to do all the different things.
So is Phoenix your answer or no?
I don't know. We've been on quite a few trips, so it's hard to pick just one, because again, that's my favorite thing to do with you, so I don't really have any complaints about one, and they're all like different too, different places doing different things, different people.
We went to the Grand Canyon together.
Yeah, for a week. Yeah, and I mean that's fun. It's all fun, and they're all very different, so it's hard to pick one, and that's why I think Phoenix sticks out, because I really enjoyed Phoenix, and that was like the last big trip that we took.
Wasn't that the first trip we took that was just the two of us?
It was the first trip that we took, it was just the two of us, yeah.
Dumbest thing we've argued about.
Oh, I'm sure there's probably too many.
So many things.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we've been together, I come home or you come home on a bad work day, you'd argue about the stupidest shit. That's just like a couples thing. One that does stand out is we argued over a tie-dye t-shirt one time, which is pretty stupid.
Did we?
Long time ago, yeah. That stands out.
Biggest accomplishment together.
I think it's
That's pretty obvious. Yeah, buying the house, right? Yeah.
We did it 2 years ago, so
we were 21 and 22, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was about to turn 22, but yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely say that, especially for the times we're in and how young we were.
Well, it was like right before COVID, and people said we couldn't afford the house.
Yeah.
And then those same people now several times have said like, you guys did really good.
Your house
and
is
you
so
guys
nice.
And you guys are a lot farther ahead than we were at that age, so that's always like really nice to hear, because we worked hard to get here, so it's nice to have that recognized too.
Well, yeah, we went from our 800 square foot apartment to a whole house, and we got a dog in the process. Where will we move?
Nowhere. Summerlin? Like, not outside of Vegas.
Okay, so we have this like ongoing conversation. Sometimes Zachary agrees he wants to move, and then he like backtracks and gives me 12 reasons why he doesn't want to move.
12 good reasons.
I really want to move, and so we've talked about like multiple places, and sometimes we joke around like, oh, let's look at houses on Zillow, and we'll look in like Florida or Texas or Utah or whatever. I was stuck on Utah for a while.
Not happening.
Till we visited, and then I was like, and there's better options, and now I'm stuck on Texas.
Where we've never been.
Never
and
been.
We've never been to Utah.
Yeah.
Before. Well, we've been to Utah, never been to Salt Lake. I've never been to Salt Lake.
Well, we weren't talking about moving to Salt Lake anyways.
But anyways, I'm just saying, you've never been to Texas and you want to move there. You hadn't really been to Utah and you wanted to move there. Then we went.
No, I had been to Utah a lot of times, just not where you would live. I'd
Right.
been camping in Utah. I'd been to St. George, which kind of run down.
Not the same as Salt Lake.
But we liked the Provo area, but I still just don't see us in Utah anymore. I liked the idea of it.
Was that BYU?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of Utah for like land and just the people, but like the weather is such a big factor.
Yeah.
And like we're both born and raised here in Vegas, so we're used to 110-degree summers and 40-degree winters. So moving to Utah where it snows for months, it would be just a big shock. And I also want to have a garden, and I feel like your garden is closed for the winter and stuff, and that just, I don't know, I just don't think it would be right for us. But something like Texas, where you can still get land and stuff is cheaper and you still get a similar environment. I just feel like the culture is cool in Texas, and so I'm really stuck on Texas. And you lean sometimes, but
if you said that I had to move somewhere without ever being there, I'd probably choose that.
Yeah. Zachary's just very work oriented. Work keeps him here because he's got a good job, and then of course family keeps us here. But where will we move? We don't know. We don't know right now.
Vegas.
I'm not raising kids in Vegas. I'm gonna knock you out. Last question. Do we want kids?
No. Come on, I had to give one silly answer.
We do want kids.
The better question is how many?
How many kids do you want?
5. The number's just gonna keep going up.
I know.
What is my answer?
Honestly, my answer always used to be 2.
My answer always used to be 2.
Always was 2. Well, first it used to be 0. I didn't want kids. And then when we started to get serious and I started to become like more of an adult and like realize what like happens next in life, I was like, okay, I do want kids.
Whoa.
But yeah, we used to be stuck on 2 kids, and then sometimes we joke about like 3
and 4.
Yeah, and like the number just keeps growing.
Well, it started as a joke, like 3, 4, and then now we're like, oh yeah,
realistically,
might actually do that. That sounds like a good idea.
So I don't know. We definitely want kids. We just don't know.
At least 2.
How many?
At least 2.
Yeah, however many God lets us have, I guess.
He might let us have 10. I don't want 10.
I mean, we're not ready for kids. We're not even married.
Are you ready right now? Okay, say we're married right now. Are you ready?
I don't know. Maybe I would wait till I was 25. Then yeah.
25? That's not even a year away.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm saying, like, we could try now, and you could be having a kid by your 25th birthday.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a big desire of mine, but if it happened, I wouldn't be like, oh no, I'm too young. How are we going to do this? I would be like, oh, okay, we're having a kid now.
My point is just that I feel like you get handcuffed, and you can't do anything when you have kids. So, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I just said that to be a
Oh my
troll.
gosh.
Thanks, guys. How do you close it out?
That's all of our questions.
Q&A. Yeah. Sorry. Why do I do that? That's annoying. God, that's annoying. Ew. You're gonna post this and everyone's gonna be like, what the fuck does he interrupt you so much?
Yeah. That's all the questions that we have.
You're leaving that in? Oh my god.
I hope you enjoyed getting to know us, specifically getting to know Zachary, because you only ever really see him like in the background or like on a random weekend vlog. He might be in it for 10 seconds.
Can I talk? Oh, I was gonna say, like, I genuinely feel like there's small clips that I get, like I just fall into them and I say something funny and that's what people see and like. And now they got whatever this video ends up being, 10-15 minutes of just straight me being annoying and being like, oh, this is really him? Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, he interrupts her.
Let me know if you
doesn't
thought
look at the camera.
Let me know if you thought he was annoying or not, and whether he should still be allowed on my channel.
Or if I should just break up with him and move on.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Goodbye.